We are going to dive on into a great conversation with the Port of Shelton here today. And I've got on the air Wendy Smith and Dick Taylor. Good morning, gang.
Good morning.
How are you doing both?
Super.
Good to hear. Legislative session is in session. And last week, you were talking with some of the folks about an upcoming CERB grant. Wendy, how has that been going? And I think you were there yesterday as well.
I was, yes. So what ended up happening, just to refresh the listeners, is the CERB funding got pulled. The governor did not fund the CERB revolving fund. So it's a solvent fund that never goes away. It's paid back by the users. So those like us that are recipients of the grant loan money, we pay it back. And so it's just a great program. It's great for rural communities, and the governor didn't fund it. He actually took the money to be put in affordable housing on former brownfields cleanup sites. Yeah. And so unfortunately that, I just found out yesterday, is all grant funding, and so that money would completely go away and it would never be seen again.
Yeah, so, it wouldn't refill itself.
Right. So it's detrimental. It's not a lot of money. It's not general fund money, anything else. So I went up on the Hill yesterday. I went last week and spoke to a Senate committee. I went yesterday and spoke to a House committee with the staffer and some other CERB board members. The committees seem well aware. They seem, not that they were really aware this happened, because I don't think even the CERB staff person didn't realize it wasn't in there until she looked it up. But they're very for the program. They seem very willing. When we left yesterday, they were figuring out who's on the appropriations committee, trying to funnel this information to them. And then subsequently, I came back and I emailed yesterday both Representative McEwen and Griffey, and just shared that the Port of Shelton's very concerned that this would be detrimental for it to go away, and did get a response from Representative McEwen, who said, "No worries, I'm already all over this. I agree."
Oh, wow. Okay.
I also informed Senator Shelton last week after I went to that committee, because none of our representatives here are on those committees. So I just wanted them to be aware that this was coming down. So we should find out, it sounds like, late March, early April, what happens. I don't know why it wouldn't be shifted around to be this, again, this is a fund that is solvent. I was speaking to a staff person at our Washington Public Ports yesterday who attended also, and he said, affordable housing is a hot issue, and we all understand that, but this is just the wrong place to take the money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, seems like that.
Yeah.
Especially after the benefits we've seen already.
Right here in our community.
From Fraser Metalworks.
Fraser Metalworks.
Yep. And we're currently in process with Lynch Creek as well, and that's our Tier 2 is due Monday.
Oh,
and
wow.
so those, because they're in this biennium, should be intact. And really the CERB staff is saying, get all your applications in before, July, so that if you have projects. But even saying that, we just don't know. So.
And so this is in the governor's proposed budget.
Right.
So we're hoping that by the time we get to that point and both sides start talking, that this will somehow kind of just
be solved,
fall off.
This is a very the CERB board and the CERB loan grant program is very bipartisan anyway. It's not. It's not something that one of the parties is glommed onto and the other doesn't participate. This is very bipartisan, and most of the committees that we spoke to and testified in front of either are currently on the board, have been on the board. So this is a very popular program, and I think they all see the benefits. And the chair of the committee yesterday sits on the CERB board currently. She's from Seattle, and really CERB doesn't benefit the urban. I think the numbers were like, it was definitely, I think there's like 10.2 million for rural and 2 point something for, or maybe 1.2 for urban, but they see what it does. And it does a lot more than just, infrastructure for like port settings. some examples given were tribes, and like the Makah tribe, with $46,000, were able to connect now to OSPI, so their students have internet, access, where, they were so disconnected way out on the peninsula before. So that money is just so huge, and it's small dollars compared to the scheme of state government.
Yeah.
So
wow, interesting.
Yep.
yeah.
Dick,
So-
what's anything else there? And what's the
So it's been a
commission
great process.
been
No,
up to
so.
lately?
Commission hasn't been doing much lately. We haven't had a meeting, so but we go to our other meetings, the EDC meetings, and some of the other stuff. I've been to a PRTPO meeting up in Jefferson County. PRTPO is the Peninsula Region Transportation Planning
Oh, there you go. Got it.
organization. So, yeah, and what we did is we looked over and finalized the priorities of programs to be funded by PRTPO funds this coming year.
How does the Port of Shelton Commission, and then when you talk with other commissioners around, feel about 2017? I hear a lot of people are very excited and encouraged about this year. Do you have anything that you also have been hearing?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously the community or the atmosphere is upbeat, and I'm excited for the year. But I also, I've been around a long time, and so I still have reservations of how expansive we'll be, or how great the economy will grow. It will grow.
Sure.
And I hope it comes up to our expectations.
At least positively is a good step.
Yeah.
If it's a percent, it's better than a negative percent.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But it's things are looking up, and I think there's hope in the air. Change is always hard.
Sure.
But in the end, I think we're going to come out okay. We're doing some projects up on the port that we've already, that we've been funded all along, but there are things going on. Some repair stuff. We were talking earlier this morning. We got the railroad being repaired on Johns Ferry. Our guys are becoming John Henrys, pounding spikes. And, that railroad's been there since when?
I think when the Navy was out there.
Yeah,
right?
since World War II.
Sure.
Some of it was there. And so they're still old wooden ties, just like you see in the movies. And they're still there, and the wood's failing on some of them, so we have to replace them and retrack them. And the guys are out there banging spikes into new wood ties. So.
Is that all part of the port budget, or do you get any federal train help?
No, that's all us.
We haven't gotten any help. I think there is money. I think it's highly competitive.
Yeah.
So to do a short line that only serves the port is probably pretty insignificant. The good news is on the rail is I've been working with Brian Riley. He's the salesman for Puget Sound and Pacific, and they tend to use our rail for repair of cars using their rail line, so the main rail line. So they'll bring the cars onto our rail and do some repair work, which in essence is hurting our rail line a little bit because it's not made to take a lot of traffic. And so that's why we've been having to repair. So we kind of came up to an agreement and worked together to say, hey, we have a tenant who currently pays for use of our rail line, and they pay for land and they pay for the use, and they, have 8 cars included, but anything over the 8, they pay per car, and that helps us,
defray the cost.
Yeah, it doesn't a lot because, one user, but these guys, just kind of shift these cars. So they understood that, and really he's been really great. I think he and his boss are going to come out next week to actually look at the property, and they have some potential tenants for the Johns Prairie area that are looking at wanting rail, and he said, that's what we're about. We're about helping get these rail lines, because that sinks into their rail line. So more to come on that, and I think it's exciting. But
Well, good information, and keep us updated on this CERB deal over the next couple 100 days or whatever of this legislative session, and we'll make sure we monitor that, and we'll talk with the State Senator Tim Shelton tomorrow, and Drew and Dan next week about this, too.
Yeah, cool.
Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, good to see you. Thank you
Good
for
to be
coming
here.
on.
Thank
Good
you.
to be here.
We're going to dive on out or surface on out of this great conversation. That's what we do. We surface here on iFiber One News Radio.
Do you know you have access to the fastest internet in Washington State? Switch to iFiber Communications right now and take advantage of our special offers. Pay only $29.95 for 100 megabit high-speed internet, or get 3 months of internet absolutely free. That's right, $29.95 for 100 megabit speeds or 3 months of internet free. Shop, stream, and game like never before with iFiber Communications high-speed internet. Call 360-427-4000 or check us online at ifiber.tv. Subject to credit approval, valid on a 24-month contract.